Good morning. Today is Friday, July 15th, 2022. What I want to share with you this morning is largely based on an essay by Rabbi Mordechai Willig. So we all know Bilaam's famous line in this week's Torah portion of Balak, Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, how good are your dwelling places, Jacob. Bilaam compliments and praises the home life of the Jewish people. That's the famous line. But in our parsha, Bilaam shares other prophecies, not as well known, but each one of which is extremely important for us to understand. For example, Bilaam says, Er'enu v'lo ata, I see it, but not now. Ashurenu v'lo karav, I view it, but it is not near. Very cryptic phrase. It's not clear at all what it is referring to. I see it, but not now. I view it, but it is not near. What does that mean? Or HaChaim, the great medieval commentator to the Torah, by the way, whose yahrzeit was this past week. The Or HaChaim sees this redundant phrase, I see it and I view it, not now and not near. Or HaChaim understands those two phrases as reflecting two different scenarios concerning the coming of Moshiach, the beginning of the Messianic era, two different scenarios that are drawn for us in the Talmud. The Gemara says that there are two separate possibilities about when Moshiach will come. Not two possibilities about what the date is, two possibilities about how that date will arrive, whenever it will be. One possibility is it will come suddenly, dramatically. All of a sudden, there'll be a big notice, all the newspapers, all of the TV shows, Moshiach is here. Bam. There's a second scenario. It may be like this. It will be gradual. It will be step by step. It won't be all at one supernatural, dramatic moment. It will gradually, step by step, unfold until finally it is here. The Messianic era is here. So Or HaChaim explains the two phrases relate to those two scenarios. Er'enu v'lo ata, I see it, but it is not now. Meaning it's not now, but it could be in the next moment. It might be dramatic. It might be in a moment from not here to here. That's one possibility. Or ashurenu v'lo karav, I view it, but it's not near. It's far away. It's not just after this moment. It's gradual. We're getting there slowly, step by step. Two different possibilities as to how this process will unfold. Now, that is the Talmud sharing with us two scenarios relating to when. What is the process for when Moshiach will appear? Then the Talmud has two scenarios relating to how Moshiach will appear. The Talmud says the vision of the prophet Daniel is Moshiach will come in a cloud of heaven, dramatically, miraculously, swiftly, all at once. The prophet Zechariah describes Moshiach as a humble person riding on a donkey, moving slowly, gradually, not miraculously. Here too, these scenarios will relate to these two phrases. Er'enu v'lo ata, I see it, but not now, meaning that it's not this moment, but like Daniel says, it could be the next moment where there is this miraculous cloud from God where Moshiach will appear. Ashurenu v'lo karav, I view it, but it is not near, meaning I see it in the distance, and it keeps getting closer, but very, very slowly, step by step. A donkey walks very slowly, and sometimes the donkey doesn't go forward, it goes backwards. Sometimes it goes to the side. It takes a long time for a donkey to arrive. Now, the Rambam tells us that we ought not to spend so much time and effort on the details of the Messianic era. Exactly what is the date that it will happen? Exactly what it will be like? Exactly what are the details that we are looking forward to? Because we do not know the answers to that. And if we hypothesize, we're bound to disappoint somebody. So since we don't know, the best idea is leave it alone. When it happens, you'll know. The only thing that is important for us is 2 points. Number one, we must believe that it will happen. Number two, we must anxiously await it happening. Now, however, if we think about what the Or HaChaim says, it does appear to us that that second phrase is what seems to be happening to us over the last, well, I'd say over 150 years. It seems to be this gradual, slow process, seems to be what it is that we're seeing in the late 1800s with the rise of Zionism and the beginning of agricultural renewal in the land of Israel, which, of course, as we've discussed before, is a sign of redemption, is a sign of the approach of the Messianic era. And the amazing way in which the land of Israel has become fertile, has become fruitful over the last 100 years or so. And the way in which the state of Israel arose starting in 1948. Where there is a sovereign state now, seems to be another major step forward. And thinking about all of the amazing triumphs of the IDF over our enemies, notwithstanding how much our enemies want to harm us and how strong they are, but somehow our forces have prevailed in protecting in general the land of Israel and the people of Israel. These seem to be indications of gradual steps, step by step, coming closer, like Moshiach arriving on a donkey. It's not tomorrow. It's not going to be dramatic and miraculous, perhaps. But it's coming. It's just beyond the horizon, coming slowly, step by step. Now, that would be an amazing thing, and hopefully that is the case. Hopefully we are living through the unfolding of this second approach that Bilaam prophesizes in our parsha. But there's a second very important lesson we can learn from this phrase in our parsha. I mentioned to you before, the Rambam says, we don't know the details, and it's not worth it to try to get involved in figuring it out. We'll know it when we see it. But the two things that are important is, number one, we have to believe that it will happen, the Moshiach will come, Messianic era will come, and we have to await anxiously every day that it should come. And whoever does not believe in him, or someone who does not await his coming with yearning, with anticipation, not only does he deny the teachings of the other prophets, but he denies the Torah and Moshe, our teacher. That's what the Rambam writes. Person who does not believe that Moshiach will come, I understand. They're denying something in the Torah. But a person who simply believes that it will happen, but is not longing for it, is not anticipating it and awaiting it to happen, where is that indicated in the Torah? that a person has a shortcoming in not having that attitude. The Brisker Rav gives the following answer. It's our parsha, and it's these words, Ashurenu v'lo karov. Now, we translated that before as, I view him, but he is not near, meaning it's coming gradually, step by step by step. But the word Ashurenu, I view him, doesn't mean just to look with my eye. It means to anticipate. I am awaiting. I am yearning for him to come. Although I see that it's going to take a long time. I see that it's going to be gradual. I see that it's going to be step by step, but I am yearning for it. I'm anticipating it. And says the Brisker Rav, these words in our Torah portion are the source for our belief that Maimonides states that not only do we believe that Moshiach will come, but every single day we must yearn for that coming. We must anticipate and anxiously and await that coming. Sunday, we begin the 3 weeks. 3 weeks of mourning, 3 weeks of commemorating the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, the first one at the hands of the Babylonians, the second at the hands of the Romans. That took place on Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of Av, which we commemorate 3 weeks from Sunday. And, of course, that event 2,000 years ago was the beginning of our long exile in which we still find ourselves. If, in fact, this gradual process of redemption is unfolding, if, in fact, the second part of Bilaam's prophecy is what we are seeing step by step, gradually over the last 150 years and continuing today, with Moshiach riding towards us on a donkey, slowly, gradually, each step, one step forward. If that is the case, then that should increase our enthusiasm, increase our longing for the day to arrive, for Moshiach to arrive, for the donkey to finally arrive, because a donkey takes a long time. But the closer the donkey gets, the more we anticipate its arrival. And may it be God's will that that is the process we are seeing unfold today. My friends, I want to wish you a great day, a wonderful Shabbos. And I look forward to seeing you soon in person.